If you're putting in the hours in your wood shop, but your bank account doesn't show it, this video is for you. I'm sharing 10 things that can take you from no sales to sales pouring in. You may feel like you're struggling, but you're not struggling because of your skills. You're struggling because no one taught you how to treat it like a real business. So these 10 shifts will change that, starting with the mindset that keeps most people stuck. Tip number 1, you have to have grit. This is probably the most important one. I put it right at the top. A lot of small businesses don't even make it past the first year. And it's not because they weren't talented, it's just because they quit when it got hard. So you're gonna hear no, you're gonna have slow months. You're going to question yourself and your sanity. But grit is doing it anyway. It's showing up when no one else is cheering you on, when nothing is working. And once you can do that, once you've got that, you are well ahead of most. Tip number 2 is to stop relying on friends and family for sales. That's just a mistake I see a lot, is just relying on your Facebook profile for all your friends and family to see your business and hope that they support it. And don't get me wrong, support is great, but it's not a real business model. Friends and family usually buy once, maybe they just feel sorry for you, who knows, but they're not gonna be your ideal customer all the time. It's when strangers are consistently buying your work. That's when you know you are building something real. Tip number 3 is to start thinking like a business owner and not just a maker. You have to get out of the I'm a handmade maker mindset. You need to tell yourself, I am the CEO, I'm a business. So don't focus just on the projects. That is important, but you also need to, in the back of your mind, always be focusing on systems, pricing, profit, and repeatability. Your job isn't to make everything, it's to make smart decisions that move your business forward. So you're not just building things, you're building income, opportunity, and freedom. And once you shift your identity from maker to CEO, your decision making gets better. Number 4 is to know your numbers. If you don't know what it costs to make your products, you're guessing, you're not pricing appropriately. So materials, paint, supplies, all of it matters. A simple formula is taking your retail price minus, you're gonna add together your materials, your time, and any overhead that you have. So you're gonna add those together for the project, subtract that from your sales price, and that is what your profit is, okay? And once you do that for all of your projects, then you can see, hey, this is a profitable project, or maybe you might be like, this is not profitable. Can that one or raise your prices, okay? A business that makes profit is a business that lasts. A quick side note, if you are serious about growing this year, there are 2 ways I can help you. In my membership, I give trendy, profitable, and fun woodworking projects that you make at home, designed to sell. And also, if Etsy is your next move, I have the Etsy Launchpad program, which is to help you start, launch, and optimize your shop for real sales. And even if your shop's open but dead, we'll fix that. Now back to the tips. Number 5, reinvest in tools as you make money. So you don't need every tool up front, as you know, but you start making money, reinvest that money into tools. Better quality tools will, in time, save you time, improve your quality, and increase your output. So those are growth tools. They just don't make your life easier, they will make your business stronger. Sometimes you have to spend money to make money, but when you spend your earned money wisely, that's how your business will flourish. Number 6 is get a dedicated workspace, even if it's small. If you're serious about growing, you have to have your own space that's just for your work. And it doesn't have to be your dream shop if you're just starting out. A spot in your garage, a shed, corner of your basement. When you stop, like setting up and tearing down just to cut a board, like your output and your motivation just totally fade. So you don't need a perfect shop. You just need your shop, your space. Number 7 is do your money math. Goals without money math are just dreams. Say you want to make $3,000 a month and your average item sells for $50. Then we know you need to sell 60 items a month, which is 15 a week, to hit that goal. So suddenly that vague, $3K a month kind of turns into a clear plan, because you need to figure out where you're selling and how much you're selling to it, okay? So your motivation will fade, but if you have a good plan, that is what keeps going. Number 8 is you need more than one sales channel. I sound like a broken record, but if all of your sales come from one place, your income is fragile. And whether that be Etsy, craft show, paint parties, your own website, Facebook Marketplace, local events, wholesale, those are all great, but you want more than one channel. And especially if you are slow in one channel, you definitely want to build out multiple ways that people can find you and buy from you. The more people you get in front of, the more chances you have of making a sale. So I just don't think that one platform should ever control your entire business. Number 9 is pay attention to trends without chasing them all. So trends do matter in the home decor space. I make trendy items, so I need to pay attention to what is trending, but that doesn't mean go all in and make every single item to reflect one trend, okay? Because colors change, styles shift, and what people buy evolves. So that doesn't mean just become a trend chaser, but it just does mean staying aware. If there's a certain color that's really popular, great, incorporate it, but don't paint everything that one color. Trends will help you sell more, but that doesn't mean it's going to take over your whole product line. Number 10 is to build what sells, not just what you love. You can be really passionate about certain things, but remember, this is your business and not a hobby. So if it's a hobby, make what you want. If it's a business, you need to build what sells. Building only what you like will keep you stuck. What sales have you made so far? What are people buying? How can you keep making more of that, okay? You need to figure out what people like and really lean into that. Even if it's something boring and you don't want to make, hey, if you're selling it, who cares? So this is the year you can stop treating your business like a hobby and start building something real. Now, if you want help turning that vision into income, my membership for project ideas that are fun to make and built to sell, or also the Etsy Launchpad if you're ready to get that shop moving, making money, and you need that extra sales channel. I'll have more information in the description below. And let me know which one of these tips do you think you are going to implement this year.